So Pocket Anime Early Access releases today, and we actually already know a lot about Pocket Anime. I did a lot of research to figure out what starters are most likely going to be the best, what arcs are most likely going to be in the game, and things like that. And also, by the way, for those that don't know what Pocket Anime is essentially just a Pokemon game, but replace the Pokemon with different anime characters from different anime. So I guess think about it like instead of having Pikachu, you would have Luffy, or instead of having Charizard, you would have Madara Uchiha or something like that. And since the game is dropping today, in this video, I want to go over all the essential information that you guys should know while actually going into the game. But before I go into the actual game info, let me tell you guys about the actual release info. We got a message from the owner of Pocket Anime who's named Ark, and he essentially said that the game will open on Saturday at 4 p.m. EST for early access, content creators, and Gaming Star members. He also said that there's going to be no media ban or media restrictions, so essentially you could record as much as you want, so people like me, I can make as much content as I want. Now that alone is actually a pretty big deal, or at the very least a green flag. It means that the game is most likely already in a state that doesn't have too many bugs, or at least a playable, releasable state. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think they've mentioned bugs at all. Usually when a game's releasing, especially for early access, they usually mention expect a lot of bugs and things like that. They haven't mentioned that once, at least in my memory. Now that doesn't mean don't expect any bugs, but I'm just saying that's most likely a good sign if I had to guess. Now let me actually explain how to get early access for those that don't know real quickly before I actually talk about the in-game things. The first thing you could do is enter a bunch of Pocket Anime early access giveaways, and if that's your plan, I'm actually doing some myself. I'm doing some in my Discord, some in my comments on this video, and also some on my live streams that I'm gonna be doing later today. The one in my Discord is actually about to end as I'm publishing this video, so if you want to enter that, definitely do it sooner than later. But I also do a giveaway on this video, so make sure to comment your Roblox username or your Discord username in the comments, and also like and subscribe. And if you follow all those steps, you will be entered. But the other way is to spend $25 and actually just buy the champion role on their Discord. You do have to fill out an application if you get it through that, but apparently it's pretty much guaranteed. Someone sent me like a chart. I don't know how accurate this is, but apparently it's pretty accurate. But from my understanding, just don't troll on your application and you will get in. But now that I got all that out the way, I want to talk about everything you need to know about Pocket Anime. The first and one of the most important things are the actual starters from the game and which one you should pick. Now I want to make this clear that these are estimations based on the information provided. When the actual game comes out, I'll probably make a separate video going over actual specifics and what we know now to be true. But right now it's just kind of an estimation based on the typing chart and things like that. So this definitely could look stupid or just be wrong in the future, but based on what we know, this is kind of what you should consider when picking your starter, if that makes any sense. So the starters are Luffy, Ichigo, Sasuke, and Majin Buu. Now we actually do know all of their types. Majin Buu is a psychic type, Luffy is a fighting type, Ichigo is a soul type, and Sasuke is a fire type. If you know Pokemon, they're all kind of similar to their Pokemon equivalents. They're a little bit different. I'll put the type chart on screen somewhere in this video, but soul is like ghost in Pokemon. My theory is that a lot of the Bleach characters that are soul reapers are going to be soul type, kind of similar to Ichigo being a soul type. And for those that don't know anything about Pokemon type games, typing is super important. Like, it's pretty much the whole premise of the game. And based on the type chart, we can actually make a very good estimation of what things are most likely going to be stronger than other things. So let me explain what I think will be the weakest starters and what I think will be the best. The starter which will probably be the weakest in my opinion, just based on typing and everything we know right now, is probably Sasuke. Sasuke is currently only a fire type, and he might get lightning type as an evolution, but that's not confirmed. And the reason I think Sasuke is weak is because I think fire is weak, and fire is also weak against a lot of things and a lot of important things, like demon type for example, which is definitely going to be ran a lot. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, because demon is looking OP and it's going to get ran a lot, that makes fire even worse, because a lot of people are going to be running the counter to fire. Now it also doesn't help that it has a lot of other weaknesses such as water and ground and things like that. Now for Sasuke specifically, there's even more things that I think will be weak with Sasuke, but I just want to wait until it actually drops and I can actually confirm them before I say that. Now the second weakest or third strongest, depending how you look at it, in my opinion will probably be Ichigo. Like I said, Ichigo is a soul type, and low-key one of my main issues with Ichigo, which is why I personally wouldn't pick him, is you can't even attack normal type Pokemon. And if you can't attack normal type Pokemon off spawn, there will most likely be a lot of normal types, and that could definitely become an issue, and I'm not personally gonna risk that. That's just me. And now also typing wise, soul type just doesn't look that strong. The only benefit I will say is we haven't seen any other soul type, so maybe soul type is a priority that you want to make as your starter. We just don't know that yet though. And what I personally think will be the second best starter is probably going to be Luffy. Luffy's a fighting type, and fighting type actually looks really good. I believe it only has one weakness and it has 3 strengths. And if I had to guess, Luffy's probably going to be the fastest starter. I mean, Ichigo and Sasuke are also fast in their verses, so it really could be any of them, but if I had to guess, I feel like it would be Luffy. And Luffy's also probably going to be a good physical attacker with good physical defense, but probably weak special and special defense, which is actually probably a good thing overall. The only downside downside is fighting types look pretty common in the game, so maybe you don't need to get Luffy and you can find a different fighting type that's also really good. But really just the typing alone is all we can really go off of right now, and that alone kind of puts him above Ichigo and Sasuke. Now what I think will most likely be the best starter by far is probably going to be Majin Buu. Now we actually did see some of Majin Buu's stats. I don't know if these were the real stats that he's actually going to have, but he was kind of a tank with special attack and normal defense. But what I think makes Buu really probably the best starter is going to be his typing. Buu is a psychic type, and psychic type is actually pretty broken based on the type chart they gave us. I mean, psychic type is literally only weak against, I believe, one thing, and it's literally super effective against 2 of the other starter types while not being weak against any of the other starter types. So if you're trying to PvP your friends and they pick a Luffy or Ichigo or something, definitely pick Buu because he's going to be able to destroy them, if I'm being honest. Now just to clarify, I'm not the Pokemon master. These are just my opinions, very loosely based on the information given and the research I've done. So realistically, I'll probably be wrong, but I definitely consider this if you don't know anything about what you want to pick. But the other thing is what actual content will be on the game's release. And I don't know exactly what's going to be on release, but I would assume the most recent trailer will be on release, or everything in the most recent trailer. And in the most recent trailer, they showed the Baratier from One Piece, the Dragon Ball Capsule Corp, which is like a whole city essentially, and they also showed the Naruto Leaf Village, so I would definitely expect that. They also have a trailer for over a year ago where they showed a bunch of things like One Piece and whatnot, but I wouldn't expect that because that trailer is so outdated. I don't know if that's still in the game, but that trailer had like Wano and Whole Cake and a lot of stuff if you want to go back and watch that trailer. Now a lot of this information is actually going to get outdated really fast when the game actually comes out, so make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I will keep you guys updated on everything you need to know about Pocket Anime, and also make sure to enter the giveaway if you don't have early access yet, or just enter my stream because my stream will be having some giveaways as well. Appreciate y'all for watching. Love y'all. Later.